What's poppin', everybody? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Big Moody Booty or Kaya, whichever one you want to call me. Today we're going to be doing a different video, a new video that I haven't brought to my channel. I've been wanting to do this though, and I've been telling my friends about it lately. You guys can see by the title, this video I'm going to be spoiling or reviewing the movie Spell with Omari Hardwick. And first of all, where I got this idea from is Ozzy DeBordelli. I've been watching him for like a whole decade, so I'm basically going to spoil or review the movie Spell. So if you haven't seen that movie and you do want to see this movie, I'm telling you right now, click off because I'm going to spoil it. So leave and then come back and watch it and give it a thumbs up and subscribe. So yeah, it's with Omari Hardwick. If you guys don't know who that is, he plays the character Ghost in Power. Let's just get right into the movie. So the way this movie starts is literally him and his wife in their apartment room or wherever the fuck, their house, and basically the wife is locked in a room. She can't get out, and she's talking about kick down a $1,500 door. First of all, it really did not make any sense. Now that I'm thinking back to it, I'm like, why did it start like that? I guess it was just trying to show the dynamic of their relationship, but literally in the first 5 seconds. So basically she's locked in the room, whatever, and he picks the lock. She comes out. They have like a little kiki, ha 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 ha. And then the movie moves on. I don't know what the point of that was. I really don't. Like, oh my God, this movie was I anticipated and I expected a lot more. After that, what the fuck happened after that? Okay, so basically after that, we're just basically seeing the life of this family, which is the dad, Omari Hardwick, the wife, and their 2 kids. They have a son and a daughter. Basically, so they have like a family dinner, and it's just basically showing you the dynamic. Now, the father, I forgot their character names. Oh, so okay, Omari Hardwick's character was Marquise T something, because I kept fucking saying it throughout the whole fucking movie. I don't remember what the rest of his family's name was, but his name was Marquise. Boom. So Marquise grew up in the country. Right now, I think they're living in like LA or New York or something like that. But they're a well-off family. So Marquise is from down south. And basically, he kind of touches on in the beginning how growing up was like very hard for him with his father. And the movie cuts back and forth between a scene, like a black and white scene where like the camera's like this. And it's almost like, it's supposed to show like his father is like standing over him like this. Like he's lying on the floor and it's standing over him. So it keeps going back and forth from that, and there's like a knife involved and the father's like yelling at him to do something. So what we can infer is that obviously he had a bad relationship with his dad, who is also, so let me get to it. So he had a bad relationship with his dad, and now the dad has passed. So now they're gonna go back to that family house, that area that he came from, to give their respects. So this is basically where the movie starts. So that's what they talked about during their family dinner. This movie made no sense, y'all. It really didn't, and I wish it did a lot better. I really wish it did. I feel like it had they had the opportunity to make a great movie. But anyways, so now we're going to the country. I don't remember. They didn't even say where it was in the country. They were just leaving the city and going to the motherfucking country. So, like I was saying in the beginning, how they were going back and forth from that black and white scene between him and his dad. From the trailer and from the little parts that you see in those back and forth scenes, it has to do with slavery. That's what you infer, right? This nigga Marquise, this man decided to travel to the country from the city. Again, we don't know what city this is and what motherfucking country this is. This man decided to travel not by car, not by truck, not by boat, not by feet, by a motherfucking helicopter that supposedly he knows how to fucking drive. Baby. So they're on their way to the country. They're all in the helicopter. The movie had a bunch of holes in it, and okay, let's get into it because I'm already 7 minutes in. They're in this helicopter and they stop at like a gas station basically to I don't even know what the fuck he stopped for, because he didn't even buy anything in the motherfucking store. He just went to the washroom afterwards, but he walked in the store into the beginning, and I don't know why they made him walk into the store in the beginning if he didn't buy nothing from that motherfucking store. Anyways, so Marquise gets out and he goes into the gas station. He's talking to the guy who owns the gas station. As he's walking around in the store, he notices a section where there's like items that you would use to create spells or to do rituals. So like herbs, animal parts, things like that. He sees that and he's like, yeah, I'm not feeling that. So then he goes back to the guy, and actually he did buy something, but it was so irrelevant. Like, I don't even remember what the fuck it was. And then he tells the guy, I need to use the washroom. And the guy says the washroom's right outside. And he goes, oh, I'm not going to see no crescent moon on it or whatever, right? And the salesman just gives him a death stare, like that's how he looked. And so whatever, he goes out and sees a crescent moon on the bathroom. I don't know what that means. Maybe y'all do? I don't know what a crescent moon on the bathroom means. Like somebody's peeping, I guess, like a peeping Tom. I don't know, that's really gross. Anyways, the bathroom, he didn't even use the bathroom because it was so fucking old. It was literally a hole in the ground. Like, it was one of those. So anyways, as he's in the store though, the mom, I don't know where the fuck the mom went. Like, there's so many things that didn't make sense. The mom was somewhere gone. I don't know where the fuck she went for like the 10 minutes he was in the store. This bitch just went fucking sightseeing. Anyways, the daughter is sitting in the truck. I mean, the helicopter. She's sitting in the helicopter, and the son is looking for service on his phone. So this other man, this country man, comes up to him, and they're just talking basically. Obviously, this guy is from where the fuck they are. This man's walking with wheat hanging off his lip. I love that shit. I love country people, man. But anyways, that's not what the fuck this video is about. So they had a really weird conversation. It didn't really make sense. The guy seemed creepy, and the son seemed naive, and that was kind of like the point of the conversation, I guess. And then so he asked the guy asked the son, I don't remember the names, but this weird guy asked the son, like, where are you guys headed? And the son says, basically, up those mountains over there. Wow, I wish I remember what it was called. But basically that, like, where the house was or where the plantation was or whatever the fuck, where the father died. He says, that's where we're going. Baby. This creepy man looked up and said, oh, I best be going then. And walked the fuck away and said something that also did not make any sense. Said something about his phone. I don't know what the purpose of any of that was. I might need to watch this movie a second time, but even then. So, they leave. Fine. Actually, before that, now they're in the helicopter and they're about to cut, and a cop pulls up on them. Again, another pointless conversation that didn't do anything. I was like, what? Anyway, so moving on. Now they're actually on their way. So now they're flying. The landscape didn't make sense, because you're telling me they're supposed to be in the country, right? They're in the country, whatever. And there's road. It looks like the country, but then all of a sudden it looks like New Zealand. Like, I don't know. Like, it's road, and then all of a sudden there's big ass mountains and clouds, and they very like lush mountains, and I'm like, what? And it literally looks like a whole different world. So anyways, so they're driving over. I'm driving. See, I'm that broke. No, I'm playing.
Broke nigga alert. Broke nigga alert.
Is it talking about me?
Broke nigga
I
alert.
think so, my nigga.
Broke.
But so they're flying. They're flying to this place, and I don't know. I think Marquise and the wife start arguing. The kids are in the back, more bullshit, more unnecessary stuff. And then basically a storm starts, and long story short, the plane crashes. The helicopter, sorry. So now, after we see that, everything goes dark. You see lightning and whatever, everything goes dark. The next scene is Marquise waking up in a bed. So we're all confused, just as him. We're like, what the fuck? Like, what just happened? Like, I don't get it. Da-da-da. Then, I think... So he gets up, like, to try and walk, I guess, to see what the fuck going on. And this man's foot is fucked the fuck up. We don't know what's wrong with his foot just yet, but it's bandaged. He can't walk on it. It was very cringy to watch. I was like, ugh. Actually, a lot of parts of the movie was very cringy to watch. I do suggest. I'm just letting y'all know it was pretty gross. Very gross. Actually, there's a lot of times I looked away. And it wasn't because I was being pussy. It was because that shit was fucking nasty and they did not have to put that in the motherfucking movie. And I would have been pissed if I had to watch that on the big screen. But anyways. So he's obviously making all this commotion and noise because his foot hurts. Then a lady walks up and, ooh, I wish I remember the actress name. But if the minute y'all see her, y'all know who she is. So it's a black older lady. Her name was Eloise. He's like, so whatever. They acquaintance and da-da-da. But he's like, Miss Eloise, like, where's my family? Where's my plane? Like, what the fuck happened to me? How the fuck did I get here? This bitch is in La La Land. Like, she doesn't even hear him. She's answering her own questions. She's saying what she wants to say. She can't even hear him. So now she's like, so that's going on. He's asking questions and she's just like, oh, the sky is blue. And that's not what she was saying. But, like, you know what I mean? Like, he's asking questions and she's just, like, whatever. Not giving a fuck. So then she's like, you need to get back in bed. And he's like, I ain't getting back into bed. Where the fuck my family? Like, what the fuck going on? So then she calls up one man, her husband. What was his name? Earl. Was it Earl? I think it was Earl. Earl comes up. It's this old man. And again, I don't know. I guess they were just introducing the characters. After Earl comes up, he can't put Marquise back into bed because they're both old as fuck and they can't move. She calls up Lewis, who is like that stereotypical strong, tall, dark and handsome Southern man. So he looks like, you know what he looks like? Oh fuck, what's his name from Friday? What's that nigga's name from Friday? Y'all know who I'm talking about, that big nigga. What's his name? That nigga. That's what he looks like. That's the vibe he was giving off. This man Lewis comes in and takes Marquise and lifts him and drops him into bed like he was lifting a motherfucking pillow. And I was like, okay, sir, I see what your job is. But Marquise is laying in bed and he's like, I still need to know what the fuck going on. You ain't gonna bitch me around and put me in this motherfucking bed like I'm some motherfucking baby. Where the fuck is my motherfucking family? What the fuck happened to me? So he's asking all these questions and these people are crazy. Like, they're starting to listen to him. And so he gets to explain. He's like, I came with my family, a son, a daughter, and my wife. We came in a helicopter, da-da-da. Earl, the husband of Eloise, says, boy, we seen the wreck, but you were the only one in the helicopter. So Marquise is like, so where's my family? Like, what happened? So that happens, and then they leave him in the room. So he's stuck in a room somewhere. I think the lady said it was like in her attic somewhere. And they lock the door and go downstairs. Throughout the movie, like, I'm trying to explain this to you because it kind of like went back and forth with the same shit. Actually, no, I'm sorry. To make sense of that, after Earl said it was only you in the helicopter, Miss Eloise gave him some, she went like, and this man passed the fuck out. I don't know what type of shit, I don't know what kind of fucking magic she had in that jar that she, to him, like, I don't know what the fuck it was. But that nigga fell asleep. So she comes back 2 days later with a motherfucking thing called the boogity. The boogity. I don't know why they called it that. That sounds actually pretty fire. Boogity. The boogie down, down, down. The boogie down Bronx. Hey. Anyways, y'all, I had a long ass day. Anyways, So she brings this boogity. A boogity basically is a voodoo doll of you. And she's explaining how the more good that happens to the boogity, the more good that happens to you. The more bad that happens to the boogity, the more bad that happens to you. So it's basically a voodoo doll. She puts this voodoo doll right by his window. The way his room is set up is he got like 2 windows, and I think like in the door that leads downstairs that they always lock. One window is locked and the other window is not. She leaves the doll next to the window that's not locked and tells him, this doll sees everything. She's explaining to him what she puts in the doll to make it your own, which was like hair, clothes, semen, which you saw later. This movie was nasty, y'all. So now that Boogity is by his motherfucking window and he's not concerned with that little ass doll because he's like, what the fuck is this? Anyways, so the next night or something like that, the next scene is basically, it's like nighttime, right? And he's trying to figure out like what the fuck is going on. So he sees a bright light coming out of his window and he's like, I need to see what this is. So he goes to the window. Mind you, it's pouring. It's pouring. Remember that. It's pouring, okay? So the boogity is sitting right there. Bitch, a flash of lightning goes and the boogity's eyes went like this to this. And I was like, I was watching it with my man and I was like, did you see that? Because they could have done a lot with this movie and they didn't though. They fumbled the bag. They really did. Because I don't know what the point of that was when the boogity didn't do shit. The boogity didn't do shit. So I don't know why it showed the eyes moving because what? Like, the way she explained it was that the boogity sees everything, but it wasn't necessary. It wasn't needed, and like the rest of the movie. So I'm just like, anyway, like there's a lot of extra shit that was not needed. Anyways, this man wants to go on a motherfucking adventure with his broken foot. I want to remind y'all. Wait. So he has his broken ass foot or whatever the fuck's wrong with it. And basically he travels, like the way this place is set up, it's like, it looks like a trailer park is the way I could explain it. But there's no trailer parks. It's like a big ass house and then houses all around it, a barn, It's kind of in a square. So the way he traveled was on the roofs and he was basically going in a square is how I could explain it. So he's traveling on the roof. It's pouring rain. He has a broke up foot and he's not supposed to be leaving his room. I was stressed. He finally gets to this barn, an opening at the top of the barn that he could look into, and he basically sees Eloise and Earl with, I guess, the town people or whatever, doing some sort of ritual with animals and the people. So one of the things they did, I think there was this one bitch. So there's this one lady who couldn't speak. So Eloise took the tongue, well, she told Earl to cut the tongue out of their farm cats and put it in that lady's boogity. Everybody had a fucking boogity. Everybody, including Eloise and Earl. So they put the cat's tongue, they didn't show this, but anyway, so he cut off the cat's tongue, put it in that lady's boogity, and this bitch just magically started talking about, I can speak. And I'm just like, then the next thing is a man that's blind. This man is blind. He can't see. They call him up onto the stage and this man has no eyes whatsoever. His eyes are sunken skin. Eloise tells Earl, take them eyes out that motherfucking goat. This man did that and put it, so he took the goat's eyes. They took the cat's eyes too. I'm sorry, they took the cat's eyes after they already took the motherfucking tongue. Took the cat's eyes, put it in that blind man's boogity, and then took the goat's eyes and put it on that blind man, like right here. And she says, what do you see? And this man gonna look up and say him. And who's up there? That dumb man Marquise. So anyways, now he's running back. So now he sees that he's been caught. Nobody sees him, but everybody knows what it is. So he's running back to his room. Not even running, because his foot is broke and he's on the roof. So I don't know what you'd call what the fuck he did, but he did it. Anyways, he gets back into bed under the covers. Mind you, what did I say in the beginning? It's pouring. So he's soaking wet. Anyways, they all come upstairs. Eloise, Earl, and Lewis. Suspicious, all that. Eloise says Earl and Lewis go downstairs. Eloise goes to the window. I remember when she put that boogity at the window, she also put a line of salt to like keep out demons or some shit like that. So that's what she did, and she realized that the salt was moved, so obviously somebody went through the window. So she turns around and basically like baits him out, and I don't remember what she said though. Something about the blood moon is coming and you'll have your turn or some bullshit like that. I don't motherfucking know. Anyways, she left. Next day. So the next morning, Eloise comes in with a bowl of food. And now it's like they have a little friendship going on between Marquise and Eloise. So she's bringing him some food. He has 2 plates. He loves it. He's chewing all the meat off the bone, all that. So she gets rid of the plates, whatever, and she comes back with the bones, and she said, go on and shake these bones. They tell you your future or some shit like that. She leaves him the bag. He ain't with that shit. He doesn't want to shake no motherfucking bones. So he's about to throw the bag away, but then he stops. He stops for a minute, puts the bones on the bed because they're in a bag, opens the bag, sees all the bones, and he slowly starts to put the bones like together into the shape that they would make. The shape that these bones made was a human hand. Now, what I didn't mention to y'all in the beginning, which is why I forgot, is this hand, the finger, one of the fingers were bent, almost like my middle finger, and I'm not flipping y'all off, but you see how my middle finger is bent like that? It's actually really gross. I fucking hate it. But you see how it's bent like that? That was how one of the fingers were bent. Now, the son had a bent finger. So, the minute we seen that, we knew she basically just fed him his son's hand. So he's realizing, oh my God, like it now, and it's going back to him chewing off the bone, because they really showed him chewing off the bone, and he's thinking about that, and he's like, no fucking way, I just ate my son's hand. So now he's like, where the fuck is my family? Because you told me that my family ain't motherfucking here, but obviously. So this man, he's like, nah, we got to get into work mode. So he starts to take off the bandages on his foot. Oh, this shit's gonna make me cringe. It's already making me cringe. Jesus Christ. So he takes the bandages off his foot, right? When I tell you, there was a nail. There was a nail bigger than these scissors, longer, I mean, in his motherfucking foot. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. It was in his foot like this. Like it was in his foot. Like it was like, first of all, it actually didn't make any sense. The length of that nail, there was no way possible that would be in his foot and not come out the other side of his foot. Like it did not make any sense in that way. I think they just wanted like shock factor. And it was shock factor. But I don't know if that's scientifically possible, because nigga, that shit was bitch, y'all ever seen 12 inches? Because that's what that shit looked like. Anyways, then it shows him taking it out. Anyways, we're just gonna skip around. He takes the nail out his foot. Remember that. He takes it out his foot. Okay, he takes it out his foot, and it's long. It's very long, and it's very painful and very nasty. Then he goes on like a little scavenger hunt. So he sees 3 graves outside, freaks out, goes, he's like, first of all, he's losing blood, so he's already kind of like, And he opens all the 3 graves and they're all animals. So he's like, okay, they're not my family, but where is my family? He sees the graves and then somehow wakes up. And then somehow wakes up back in the bed. That didn't make sense because it didn't let us know if he took himself back to bed or if Miss Eloise found him. So anyways, Eloise comes back into the motherfucking room, right? And she's just talking all this shit and freaking him out. So he goes on another adventure and he goes into, this time he goes to, he's basically looking through their stuff. And now he's starting to find out what the fuck is going on and, you know, whatever. So he is in like their attic or wherever the fuck they keep all their shit. And he's going through all the potions, all the herbs, everything that they have, all their magic necessities and things like that. Now, when I told you earlier in the story how Miss Eloise went like to him with one of her little creations, she explained what those were to him. So he actually was in there and he was switching them. He was switching the bad ones with the good ones and the good one with the bad ones. So when she would use the bad one on him, which was like all the time, it would actually be the good one. He was preparing himself for what might come. And he was smart. So anyways though, while doing this, now he doesn't get caught, but like something happens where he needs to run back to the room. So he's running back to the room, right? And it was crazy because he's running back to the room, and why this man grabbed the nail that was in his foot and started push it to the limit. This man starts pushing that nail back into the hole that it came from in his foot. I didn't watch that either. As he's doing it though, I'm like, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. Why are you doing this? Like, what the fuck? But he did. Because after now, so he does it just in time. And Eloise comes in and what they do? They check his foot. They don't know that he knows though that there's a nail in his foot. Like that big ass thing. So they see it's still there and she looks at Earl and says, oh yeah, like you're all good to your foot's healing up. It's about to be good as new. Lying like a motherfucker. But obviously he knows better. So now he's really on like, okay, I need to survive because this bitch is fucking crazy. So long story short, he's like, okay, I need to get out of here. So he finds his phone, or no, he finds his son's phone because he kept hearing like a ding, like a text message thing. And he was like, Miss Eloise, like, where's that coming from? And Eloise is like, well, we ain't got no motherfucking phones in here. I already told you that, so stop asking me. But he knew what he heard. So he finds the phone and he basically calls 911. He gets in touch with the sheriff. He says, I need y'all to fucking come over here. So now he does that and Miss Eloise catches him. I don't remember if she catches him with the phone or something. She catches him doing something and basically takes his biggity, wraps it with like yarn. So basically what she's doing to him is like tying him up, but she's doing it to the biggity, and she takes out the tongue of the biggity so he can't move and he can't speak. So the sheriff pulls up now and he's talking to them outside and he's out the window. He's like trying to scream, yell, but nothing's coming out. He's literally like, because he don't got no motherfucking tongue. And so basically he ends up getting out of the thing. He gets his biggity and he like unwraps himself, goes downstairs. They see him. So now he's running. He's running through the forest. All of a sudden it's nighttime, which didn't make any fucking sense because the sun was bright and out in the previous scene. So I don't know how him running from the house to the forest, which is literally like walking distance, is now the middle of the night and it's storming and it's raining. But sure. So he's running. And he sees the sheriff's car. So he's like, Sheriff, stop. The sheriff picks him up. Well, actually, no, he didn't say anything. He just got into the sheriff's car because, sorry, he still can't talk. So now he gets into the car and he puts the tongue back into the biggity and he looks at the sheriff and he's like, this is what's happening. Just drive. So the sheriff is driving, right? Why does sheriff do a whole U-turn and take him right back to Miss Eloise? This man was in it. This man was part of it. This man wanted he was ready. Because there was a whole blood moon situation that they were doing. And the sheriff was in on it. So, plot twist. Now, they're trying to bring Marquise into so they bring Marquise into that ritual room that he's seen before from on the top of the barn, and now he sees his whole family. They're all standing up there, but like I don't remember what they took from them, what they did to their biggities, but they were just so they couldn't hear, they couldn't see, like they were like vegetables. They put that thing on Marquise and they lie him down on the table, and basically they're gonna take Marquise's heart and put it into Earl. And I was like, y'all are sad and pathetic and old. But anyways, obviously, so as she's about to stab Marquise, remember what I said, he changed those potions. So when she used the bad potion to put him to sleep, it actually was the good potion or whatever it was, so he was fine. So he basically stops her from stabbing him, stabs Earl in the motherfucking heart, pushes the other bitch out the way, and then goes to his entire family. And the family is now like conscious, I guess you could say, and whatever. So Earl is dead, and I think so now he tells his family to go run somewhere and stay somewhere, whatever, leave the barn. Well, in the meantime, he's like basically doing what he needs to do, and he's fucking everything up, and he's taking everybody's biggities, and da-da-da-da. And Elise wakes back up, and he's like, bitch, I ain't got time for you. And basically sets he sets her biggity on fire. I don't remember what the fuck he did, but actually sorry, because in between here, actually no, because remember Lewis? Yeah. So when what's her name, Eloise, was like passed out, Lewis came out of nowhere and tried to choke Marquise, but Marquise was smart. He already put Lewis's biggity in a bucket of water. So when Lewis was trying to kill Marquise, Lewis started drowning because his biggity is in water. Then Lewis dies. Then that's when Elise gets mad. Eloise, I mean. And I don't remember how he killed that bitch. I think he had her, he put the barn on fire and then like left and put like salt right at the door of the barn so she couldn't come out the barn. He was like, it's supposed to keep demons out, but it'll keep you in. And that didn't really make sense to me, because I was like, what that mean? Like, because usually if salt is not letting you leave, then you're obviously like a spirit or a demon or something, right? And that's what didn't make sense to me. That's part of the holes that was in the movie, because when he was going through all their stuff and switching the potions and like learning about them, he's seen pictures of them from 1860. I don't know what time frame this movie was in, but they had 5G fucking phones. So obviously I'm guessing it's like 2020 or some shit like that. It's the 21st century. So I'm like, how are they alive if they were taking pictures in the 1860s? But did they touch on that? Never. Ever. I was like, okay. So anyways, he kills Eloise. He turns to all the town people and he's like, if you want to get crazy, we could get crazy. Want to know why? Because he's holding all their biggities. So they're like, nah, go through, because I ain't trying to die. And gets his family, and they leave in the cop car. Like, that's how it ended, basically, with them leaving. But it just didn't make any sense, because it was like that's really how it ended, y'all. That's really how it ended. Even if something happened after that, it was nothing, it had nothing to do. Oh, I think the only thing that happened, so they drove away, and then it panned back to Elise's biggity, and it showed like the doll's eyes open, as in like she's supposed to still be alive. And that's how the movie ended. So if y'all are confused, don't worry, because I was confused too. Like, there was so many holes in the movie. There were so many things that they could have done better. There were so many things that didn't make sense, that was not explained. Like, where was his family the whole time? Not once in the movie did they show a clip of the family, like, scared, like, in, like, a place. Nowhere was the family to be seen. What else? The whole thing with them being in the pictures from the 1860s, like, what is that supposed to mean? It just didn't make sense. It really did not make sense to me. Even that weird man that I was telling you on in the beginning, who was talking to the brother at the helicopter, the brother was like, can I get some, like, do you know where to get service? And this man said, slavery is over. There ain't no damn service, or some shit like that. And I'm like, okay, so what is that like? What is the importance of this character? Like, what was the importance of saying that? I don't get it. Like, there was just so many things that just didn't make sense. And there's like, who is this family? Who is Elise? Who is Earl? Where the fuck did they come from? Like, what the fuck? They're just living here, doing rituals on people. Like, I don't get it. And I don't know what I had to do with his dad. Y'all, maybe I need to watch this movie a second time. Maybe you guys can watch it and tell me. But anyways, that is my spoiling review of the movie Spell with Omari Hardwick. I would honestly, honestly, I'd give it like a 6.5 out of 10. Like, I don't even want to give it a 7 because there was no explanation. Like, there was so many things missing. I'm really only giving it a 6.5 because of him. Because he's a good actor and I like him. But otherwise, it's like, I don't know, y'all. But anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I'm sorry if it was a little all over the place. We're already at 42 minutes. So thank you guys so much for watching. Give it a big like, thumbs up, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.